extreme. And looking at what I'm actually going to read something out to you. I'm trying to get this to you. It's really on Twitter, and let me look at this here on Twitter. I'm trying to get this, but well, okay, my producer should just help me out. The funny thing is, lots of people ranting here don't even worship God the way you are supposed to. Some of you just want to defend it because everyone is doing the same. And that's just one of it. Everyone knows the region and religion in Nigeria that get arrested for doing fraud are either Yoruba or Igbo, and majorly Igbos, non-Muslims. How many times have you heard a Muslim northerner been arrested outside Nigeria for fraud? Now, these are some of the comments I have here. Anyone here? Now, this is at Bashir Ahmad saying, there are many reasons why every Muslim find this content absolutely disrespectful, hurtful, and offensive at DAVIDO'S. I assume you all know that we Muslims don't mix our religion with jokes in any way, especially Salah, that's the prayer, which is sacred and the second of the 5 pillars of Islam. In Salah, Muslims remember our Lord, Allah, express our love and respect for Him, and invoke and strive to express our gratitude towards Him. The notion is that the Salah activity brings the individual face to face with God. That is what we believe, and that is our faith. Please respect it. No Muslim will find it an honor or acceptable. And there's quite a whole lot making the round from Twitter. This one says, despite your drunk voice, I used to listen to your song no matter how bad they are. But from now onwards, I will never again. Highly disappointed in you. We Muslims don't joke with our religion, our 5 daily prayers. No, you can't do that. You just went to a no-go area. Femi?
I think we must take the fact that these reactions came on the heels of a post made by David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, in which he introduced one of his signee at Logos Olori, and with a single called Jayelo. So, you know, looking at the post, the video said, "Allow me to reintroduce at Logos Olori with his new single, Jayelo. Let's run it up one time. Let's take over the world, you know, with some emojis. We lead it." So, in that video, the artist was seen sitting on a particular building, you know, reminiscent of possibly a mosque, you know, with the speakers under him, and then there were persons who appeared like to be doing salat, observing their prayers, and with the mat, with the attire, you know, they were there. And at a point, they now began to dance in a kind of a way that one wouldn't expect a Muslim to be dancing at, especially at a place of prayer, you know. So it looks like to some persons like desecrating a sacred place like the mosque and the faith, you understand, and that's what happened. So many persons felt have been reacting and felt offended. Why should these why should creativity go this particular way? And I think that's what happened. And I must state again that that video didn't belong to Davido. It belonged to one of his signees. He was just posting it. So he wasn't the one who sang the song or made the video. So he was just making a post introducing a particular act, and that is what caused that reactions and of course counter reactions as well. That's what happened. And you know, not just these reactions, many that you could just see as threats. It's not just people reacting, you know, stating the fact that they are not too cool, using the word cool with the creativity of that particular video, with that post, but you know, making some threatening statements, especially in some parts of the nation as well, from the southwest to the north as well. Yeah, it has really been crazy.
Sheikh, help us out here at this moment in time. the role of religious leaders in the face of all this uproar? Because before we know it now, if this isn't well tackled, it probably could cause another chaos, protests. What should be the role of religious leaders when issues like this arises?
Now, I must tell you that the religious leaders haven't talked. We are still at the sideway. We haven't even, contribute our voice. All those who have been talking are not religious leaders per se. They are Muslims. They are concerned Muslims who are just reading out their opinion. So let me put it this way. You know, there's always reaction to some certain actions. So a situation whereby you have Davido's father denying some certain Muslims their right in his university. And recently we had some certain ladies with hijab not allowed to enter some certain private universities. Their rights have been denied. And you have the song coming out with such a music, though it's an entertainment, with such a music that is very sensitive to some certain parts of Muslims. I say some certain part of Muslims because we have some Muslims who doesn't even listen to music at all. You know, in every religion, we have different principles. In Islam, there's way we treat music, other things that are different from other religions. Let me put that aside. The point here is that we have to be very careful because in Nigeria, we are very unique in terms of our population to other parts of the world. So everything has to be treated in such a way that, yes, we will see ourselves as brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
This is a very little issue that shouldn't be generated or allowed to degenerate in chaos.
Yes, Sheikh, let me ask, have you seen the video?
Yes, I saw the video. I watched the video. I saw the video. It's not too sensitive. It's not too abusive. But look at it from that very particular angle I'm talking about. If, for example, you know, the problem we're having here is that he mentioned, alhamdulillah, he mentioned some certain things that is Islamic. But my point, I'm not very, disturbed with the music because we have some certain musicians who are doing the same in the past and recently. Like, for example, we have somebody like Jennifer Brown. He used to recite the Quran without even hijab. He used to recite it when she was not a Muslim. But nobody read anything destructive to it because, you know, like I said, I've realized some certain background that may make people to have some other meaning to what Davido was doing. That, oh, you are mocking our religion. Where your father or your people are mocking it physically, you are mocking it emotionally. So some people may come from that angle. So what I'm saying is, the sense is that, yes, we have to tread this softly and we have to allow it to go that way. So, but another time, we have to be very sensitive when it comes to religion.
Yeah, Sheikh, let's look at the space at which, most especially towards the northern part of Nigeria, they tend to always go hyper active, if I may say that. They go hyper active when they see that, hey, this is contrary to what Islam says. Because, as I said earlier, if this isn't treated well and fast, this probably could generate into something Nigerians might eventually see, and the young man probably could be attacked or thereabout. We are not incited, but what should be done to calm douse tension at this moment in time? Because just as you said, the video for you and to you, it isn't really too much of anything to worry about. But what can be done at this moment in time, and what do you feel the person in quote, Davido, should do to douse his tension?
Yes, if at all Davido offended Allah, it's not we. that he offended.
That's between him and...
We shall allow it to be dealt with by Allah. So we had the story of a man who used Quran to smoke ganja, and immediately he got stroke. And that is from God. But many times we don't allow God to really judge whoever. You know, like you said, in the north, the scholars, they need to work more in the psyche of our people. The situation where some Muslims are being killed on the platter of blasphemy and condemn it totally. It is wrong. Like the one we are witnessing now, it is wrong for you to come out and mass and start condemning. We can call him to order. If someone mentioned Alhamdulillah, he demonstrated how to pray, means that he knows much or little about Islam. You can guide him more to the way of Islam. Like that very particular lady, she recites Quran very well. She's not a Muslim, and later the scholars move closer to her and they explain the meaning of what she's reading, and she accepted Islam. So Davido could be invited by the Islamic scholar and talk to him and ask him. He may not have something destructive in mind when he's doing his music, his entertainment. We may call him to order, and instead of trying to waylay him or say all derogative words to him, it is wrong. Because in the time of Rasulullah, if truly we are following Islam, the Prophet of Islam used to be humiliated, used to be embarrassed, he was sent on exile, he did not fight. Where did we see all this? If somebody is praying and mocking God, let's leave him for God and tell him the consequences, and that should be okay. Instead of allowing this thing to degenerate and cause chaos in our society. This is very, very un-Islamic. We should stop all this.
Yes. Sheikh, you know, part of what happened yesterday was the fact that from the reactions that video, that particular post generated, some threats were made. In fact, some persons who are influencers, especially on the social media space, threatened him and told many of them, and told him never to set his foot on in the north, really, and told him if he comes, if there was a particular post that was quoted, the infamous Deborah saga in Sokoto, somebody quoted that post and said, this is what is going to befall Davido as well, that the Deborah treatment is going to be given to Davido. And so many persons were thinking, is this not extreme? By the way, why should anybody gloat, especially with the Deborah situation still on ground, unresolved? So why should you now say the same thing that befell Deborah, in which she was killed, you know, on the altar, just like the Sheikh said, on the altar of blasphemy? Why should you do that? And at the end of the day, let me ask Sheikh, is there a role, what is the place of religion in entertainment? Should it really be a big deal, so to speak, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, I've told you, the perspective of Christianity to entertainment is different from the perspective of Muslim. More so, the fanatic Muslim, let me use the word without apology. We have some certain Muslims who, like we have in Christians too, that they are fanatical in their approach to issues. And the society have to manage these people too, because it is a problem, it is a disorder. It is disorder that we need to manage in our society. As volatile as society is, we have to manage it. We have fanatic Muslims, like we have fanatic Christians, who always try to be at the extreme or far left in their thinking. So they need to be managed. You mentioned Deborah. There are a lot of Muslims that have been killed in the north on the platter of this blasphemy or so. So we need to do more. It is the duty of those who are in government to call together different sorts of people. There's a singer in the north. They said that he overpraised Muhammad and he was killed. So in the past we have a lot of these things going on, and it is not good for the image of our religion, not good for the image of our country, but not that we keep fueling this thing, but try to dance the tension by calling these people to order in different forms. So they have problems, and that's the way I see it.
Religious tolerance, Sheikh, religious tolerance is something that isn't totally 100% in Nigeria. And we've seen some fanatics, just as you stated, that if I see that I'm going to sit beside a Christian or I'm going to sit with it, how can religious tolerance be exhibited around and within this country and in the minds of virtually every one of us, even in spite of our different religious beliefs?
Let me be frank with you. Every religion has been politicized. You see the way we took politics to the house of God in the last election. All these things is a kind of reflection. I mean, all this reflection, this kind of reflection will be seen. That, oh, we are protecting our religion as you are protecting your religion. And religion is supposed to be, I align with Fashola, who says that the religion should be personal to everybody.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to politicking, when it comes to governance, when it comes to the environmental, we should forget about, we just take our religion to the closet and allow life to go on smoothly for everyone as usual. Quran 109 verse 6 says that everybody should mind his religion. Should mind his religion. Religion should not be generalized. And the government should be very careful. Yes, we are not in secular state, but we are in multi-religious state. And everybody should be allowed to take his religion to his bedroom. And that is what I'm saying. That the issue of, oh, let's come to the government functionaries or program and Christian come, Muslim come, yes, they should have their, no, we should have the general prayer and everybody should pray his own silent in his own place. We are too hypocritical when it comes to religion. So most of us should be very careful. If you want to, like we are saying, the Davido should step down, he needs to do that in the spirit of peace and approach some certain scholar and tell them his intention towards the music. And the scholars too should come out, mashallah, to please allow this to go. Muhammad was baboozed during his day. We had someone who came to Muhammad and started raising calls on Muhammad. And Muhammad did not talk. And even we had a situation where one of his companions, his best companion, Abu Bakr, was being abused by a man who come in the presence of Muhammad. And Abu Bakr did not reply, and Muhammad was laughing. The man did this second time, and when he did it third time, Abu Bakr replied. And Muhammad, you know what Muhammad said? Muhammad said, Muhammad just left the place angrily. And Abu Bakr followed him. He said, when he's abusing me first time, you did not talk. The second time, you did not talk. And when I reply him, you get angry and you left the place. And Muhammad said, when he abused you first time, the angels were replying. The second time, the angels were replying. But the third time, you reply him by yourself and the angels went away. So we should have it in mind that we are not the one to fight for God. The religion of God has been established. And he says that I am the one who revealed my book and I'm the one to guide it. You are not to guide the Quran. You are not to guide Islam. Do your own part and go back to God peacefully.
All right. Sheikh, just for the records, the man in question, Davido, has deleted the post. I think he did that last night. He has put down that post. And so many persons are saying this is what you should have done ab initio, you know, to show some respect. But then some will say this is about creativity, you know, trying to be creative when you talk about arts, when you talk about entertainment. And so, you know, in our laws, we have right to freedom of expression, freedom of movement.
Absolutely.
Freedom of worship, you know, to do what we like, in as much it doesn't infringe on others' right as well. So, looking through all these, Sheikh, I'd like to ask you, at what point should we draw the line, either as an entertainer, either as a public speaker, either we're into art or whatever we are in, at what point should we draw the line so that we don't get to incite unnecessarily while thinking we are just being creative?
Alhamdulillah, the civil right is meant for civil society or civil environment. Where our environment is not civil. Nigerian environment is not civil at all. We are still behaving like as if we are in the bush. We are very draconian in our approach to issues. So we need to make our society civil, whereby at times in civil society, the Muslim can be allowed to pray their salat in the church if need be. And in civil society, the Muslim can allow the Christian to come to their mosque to have their worship. See, this can be demonstrated in civil society. We pray that our society become civil. Let's go to the second one. In Islam, have you saw the picture of Muhammad? No, you can't see the picture of Muhammad. But in Christianity, you can see the picture of Jesus. Nobody will count anything to it. But I bet you, if somebody come out today and say, this is the picture of Muhammad, that person will be killed. Because Islam does not really affirm with issue of picture. So, and that is what makes society civil, when you could be able to identify other people area of a sensitive area and try to abide with whatever the law says the law of the religion says. So what I'm saying in essence is that, please, let's respect one another. I don't mock by saying that, oh, Christianity is this, is that. No, I don't dabble into that. I pick what benefits me from the Bible. I don't pick what makes me look like I'm criticizing other people's religion. That's why I don't go for those who are saying they are into comparative religion. I don't like it. Yeah. That's the principle of Islam. Let your religion be yours, and my religion is mine. So we should be very careful. But at the same time, I'm appealing to the Muslims, generally, all over the world, and in Nigeria. Please, let's allow Islam to remain peaceful, because that is the genesis of Islam. Don't do contrary. There's one of the leaders of Islam who says that, yes, your action should preach more about Islam, not your word. If we are saying to the world that, hey, Islam is a peaceful religion, and we always become controversial at times, it is somehow, the message will not go far. But let's act it, let's demonstrate it, the peaceful nature of Islam at all times. Islam does not go with the music, that's the truth. Islam goes with entertainment, but it has limitation. That is the truth. Mashallah.
All right. Sheikh, as we round it off, gradually, this conversation started from the social media space, especially on Twitter. And I want you to speak to the use of our social media platforms in disseminating these information. Sometimes these hate, these threats. Yes, you've talked about tolerance, and of course you spoke to the fact that we don't have to unnecessarily provoke people because of due to their beliefs, rather. But Sheikh, the use of a social media space, some have said it can be for good, it can be for the otherwise as well. This conversation most of the times starts from
the social media.
The social media space. Yeah. So how should we do this, especially the persons who are big on their religious beliefs? There are some persons, possibly they've seen the tweets and they feel, okay, this is just one of it. But there are some persons who have voice, who have the crowd, who have the followers, who are influencers, in which they are the ones that they fuel these conversations. So, educators, how should this be done? Because social media has come to stay with us.
Yeah, what should be the role of the social media at this moment in time, sir?
Alhamdulillah, social media is just like a knife. The knife is very useful, but at the same time very harmful. The same thing goes for fire. So for those who are trending on social media can take you up within a second and bring you down. There's a lady recently who was just, in the front of her house, someone just called her and asked her to say something, and the lady was reciting the Quran. So she has a cleavage open and everything. She didn't know that the thing will train as much as that. But at the end of the day, it becomes I mean, blessing to her, but it could have ruined her life. And it's because of certain people could be able to come to her rescue, manage her very well, and rebrand and represent her to the social media public. So we should be very careful, most especially the scholars, the leaders. Whatever we see on social media, it goes like a wildfire. And those who are trending today should be very careful. The social media is just like, I put it, like a fire. It can go up and it can come down. So we need to be very careful. And not everything you hear from social media is what you should believe.
Absolutely.
So there are some certain people, they become so tense because somebody says that we should kill him like Deborah. We should kill him like this. We should, and this we think that is jihad. That's not jihad. That's satanic. To kill someone in Islam means that you will account for it in the day of resurrection. So it will make you completely out of Islam. A lot of people are saying that they are Muslim. They are no longer a Muslim because you have allowed a soul to be terminated from you, from your statement, from your action. It's not just by your hand. Not to slay someone, you can slay someone with your mind, with your action. So please, let's be very careful as a Muslim. Allow people to live. Save people. We make you be safe with God. When you kill someone, definitely you become a murderer and you're no longer a Muslim. That is the point.
We'd like to thank you most sincerely, Sheikh Dr. IBIYEMI Al-Sanusi. We thank you for your time and for your very encouraging words at this moment in time. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me and God bless you. Thank you.
And that's how we wrap up the show for this morning. I want to thank everybody who has been there for us and to our very esteemed viewers, wherever you are viewing us from. Thank you most sincerely for being there. To the entire transmission team, very amazing set of people, our director, our amazing producers, the camera team. Thank you everybody for making it real. We'll be back again tomorrow on another edition of Morning Spring. Tunde IDOWU is my name.
And of course, I want to appreciate you as well. But, you know, the parting shot of this morning is for us to be tolerant.
Yeah.
Either in the place of religion, tribe, ethnicity, social status. Let peace reign. That is it. That's especially at this critical point that we are in our nation. And that will be my parting shot for today. I'll see you tomorrow. FEMI Ojo is my name. Bye-bye.
Discipline. My. Discipline.